Rob Van Dam, listening to True Hill Heat. Pow.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Schiavone of All Elite Wrestling, and this is True Hill Heat, and I said it right, you motherfuckers.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat, YouTube and Facebook for our NJPW G1 Climax 33 preview. It is that time of the year again. It is summertime, and that means it is time for the premier tournament in professional wrestling to begin again. New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax, and I am joined by a regular face now here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Whenever we are talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling, she is here with us. You see her over on Sonal's Life. You hear her over on WrestleIn. You can see her writing work across a couple of different websites as well. It is Sonal. How you doing?
I am good. I was trying to find a New Japan shirt today, and I was like, I need my Naito Tanahashi, but I've not got it, so you'll have to live with the Roppongi 3K t-shirt. Repping it for Chaos in the G1 preview.
Repping for Chaos. I mean, the never cohesive unit of Chaos.
I just remember like a few years ago, because when I started watching New Japan, Chaos was the faction. They had everyone. It was Jay, it was Ospreay, Roppongi 3K, and I was like, have the mighty have fallen. It's all Jay White's fault.
I came in when Nakamura was still a part of it, so it was even a bigger kind of stable, because you had Nakamura as like Intercontinental Champion. Okada was always around the heavyweight title scene. You had representation in the junior heavyweight division and the tag team division, junior tag division. Yeah, that was before Ospreay is when I came in. I came in maybe 2014. I want to say late 2013 is when I started paying attention to New Japan and then actively watching it 2014, 2015. We got our aficionado is here with us. He is in what I'm going to be calling RPT time, Romeo people time. Even though I'll blame myself. I did send him a link late, and he'll blame me anyway. It is J News.
You're absolutely right about blaming your ass. Jesus Christ, how do you send me the freaking link 5 minutes before the show starts? There's setup time. There's a process to this.
Anyway, you should have been set up. You should have been asking me yo, where's the link?
Listen, man, I don't know if you're running into anything, man. You got 2 kids. You got a wife. I don't know if something happened. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here wondering, something happened to Sid. I don't know what's going on.
We're starting the show today with some drama.
Jesus.
Hey, those are our best shows. Our best shows. We had the drama on the Forbidden Door review, and it did over 1,000 views. So see,
that was very chaotic. That was.
So now I was like, I don't know what I signed up for when I started agreeing to come here. What's going on? But yes, J News, how you doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Wondering what this G1 is going to bring to us, New Japan Pro Wrestling fans as a whole. There's a lot of things going about, a lot of storylines going about, a lot of potential that will come out of this G1 prospectively. 4 blocks, 8 men per block. I don't know where any of this is going. All I know is that Naito needs to win this G1. That's all I know.
feel like we're all in the same, gonna have the same prediction at
That's
the
all I
end
know.
of this.
Wait,
for like
wait,
first
everybody
time
hold on.
ever.
Oh shit.
I might have to switch it up, even though my heart is gonna be on the same page as
On
y'all.
Ace Techers, you said that
I
you're on the
know.
same page with Naito.
I know. I want to be on the same page with y'all, but we'll see. We'll get to when we get to the end. We'll see if I stick with him or do I go a different way, because it might be too much, like too many people saying that. And I've been down this road. I've literally predicted Naito to win the past 2 years, and he's failed me the past 2 years. So I don't know if I can go through this again.
I hear you, man, but he ain't got too much time left on that body clock, man. Yeah, they need to pull the trigger now, or it ain't never gonna happen, man.
He's not doing it, Tanahashi. He's not going to be wrestling.
Yeah. You can't do that, man. You can't do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Naito is not. It's not long for this world as far as professional wrestling being inside the ring. I hope that he can leave the professional wrestling circle so he's able to walk and not be in a wheelchair. I mean,
a small time though. If Naito left, who would take over LIJ?
Hiromu.
Really?
I think that's a no-brainer. No one cares about LIJ more than Hiromu. That's the next step.
Like the long-term Bushi, that they're not going to put Bushi at the top.
Like long-term goals, push Bushi, obviously.
Obviously.
But we appreciate everyone for joining us for our G1 Climax 33 preview. Show your appreciation back by dropping the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, if you're with us live, sound off in the live chat. We love to hear from all of you and hear your predictions for the G1 Climax 33 tournament. We're going to try to highlight as many comments as possible. But of course, if you are feeling generous, you can send a super chat donation that will make sure we highlight your comment on screen. And it helps out a lot with the contributors here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. And of course, you can hit the join button and become a member of the True Hill Heat YouTube channel as well. Like our good friend Vala B, who says, hey, SP3 and Sonal. And I hope eventually J News. He made it, Vala B. He made it. I wasn't
missing this one. I was not going to miss this at all. It's been quite the week, just in news in general, in the wrestling world, and then with the press conferences going on today, as Vala B was mentioning in the comments and stuff like that. I usually watch those, so I'll watch them later. I just saw a lot of the as they say, the posturing by the numerous contestants in the G1. Shout out to Sonata-san. That suit and that hat was pimp.
Sorry, did you see Suji's red suit? Suji's red suit was on, like, in the A-block, it was serving. Like, Shota came in a white suit, Suji came in a red suit. I was like, they are starting the fashion game strong. Because I couldn't watch it because they put it on Amoeba TV, they didn't put it on New Japan World, like, live stream. But I saw the picture, I was like, yeah, suit game is strong this year.
I love it. I gotta say, best suit though. Come on, obviously Shane Haste. It's obviously Shane Haste with the Dumb and Dumber tribute. He did a Dumb and Dumber tribute, and Zack Sabre Jr. was loving life with that suit. Magnifique.
I mean, Zack Sabre Jr.'s promo. It was one of his best. 2 minutes of messing with the microphone, just go gambarimasu and then leave.
I will say, I think the best promo was either Alex Coughlin or Gabe Kidd.
Gabe's Kids was literally. I saw it on his. I think he posted it on Instagram. That was a work of art. That was.
We got Bala B in the chat who says Gabe Kidd was fantastic. Okada trolled everyone. Will Ospreay wore a suit. He wore to a wedding a couple of months ago. And oh my God, Shane Hayes. We also got yes, there's the exact quote. Exact quote. Naito is not long for this world. Not this world, like world, wrestling world.
No, like we're not wishing any future.
Yeah, that he's like quoting me, like I have like prophetic words. We got Valabi says it's a row move for the leader of Lij. We got RP Jesus who says Sonal couldn't finish that with a straight face. Couldn't say Bushi was gonna be the leader of Lij with a straight face.
I mean, in an ideal world, Bushi would actually like do something, but you know what? Bushi's living his best life, so you can't complain there.
We got Frantic World says I just saw Shane. We got Valabi who says Sonata looked class, yeah, but he also does, so I didn't need to bring it up. Always does, excuse me. Sure. We got Valabi who says ELP was the best promo, so he was an ELP fan for that. So yeah, a lot of notes coming out of the press conference, a lot of great quotes as well. I think that is gonna be available on New Japan World.
I think it's available now. I think
okay.
It's on with subtitles.
Yeah, I did see some clips on social media for that, which makes things interesting for our preview here. Sound off with your predictions. We're going to do predictions for the top two in each block. We're going to do predictions for the Elite Eight, Final Four, and the finals, and of course the winner of the entire tournament. But we're also going to put a highlight on the entire tournament, and especially the first two nights, which are going to start off tomorrow morning for most of us. If you're in the UK, in the US, wherever you are in the world, it's about the start time is 4 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. in the UK. I believe in Japan that's like 8 o'clock. So
it's 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Oh, it's only 5 o'clock.
8 hours difference from us.
Oh, so it's 13 hours for us. Okay, that makes sense. So, yes, we're going to kick off with that for day one of the G1 Climax 33 tournament. We got El Phantasmo going one-on-one with the headhunter, Yoshihashi. Yoshihashi, always a tough out in the G1, and ELP wants to use this whole entire tournament as a fresh start for himself. Will he get off on the right foot in this year's tournament? We'll start with you, Sonal.
It's a hard one because with everyone, and we've mentioned this on previous ones, ELP doesn't have a home yet. And I always think, although Phantasmo doesn't need one, it always helps in this sort of thing. And especially against someone like Yoshihashi, having some sort of allegiance maybe would give us an idea of how the match could go. Considering it's the first match, you'd think that the outcome would be quite easy, but I don't think it is, because in one way you've got Yoshihashi as tag champion, but then on the other hand you've got ELP who's come off a loss, but is as, like with David Finlay, but is as determined as ever. So it's an odd one. I hope ELP does well, but then also like I'm a massive Yoshihashi fan, and I kind of want him to show up, and I don't want Bishamon to have too many defenses of that title once the tournament's ended.
Yeah, and it's very true, because with the placement of this matchup as like the first match of the tournament, it really could go either way. Like you could set up the story of El Phantasmo having the, fight from underneath and get back into the tournament, or you could start with him on the fresh start. You could start with Yoshihashi getting the win, proving himself as a champion, or taking a loss and then getting more bigger wins as the tournament goes on. J News, who you got?
So I'm with Sonal here. I don't necessarily know where to go in this match. One of our members here in the comment section said ELP has a home, that Hontai's his home. That's never necessarily been officially declared.
Also, Hontai, I never say Hontai is anyone's home, really, unless you're like Tanahashi or Taguchi. I feel like it's a stopping point.
Right. Exactly. It's a stopping point. The reason as to why I say I don't necessarily know and agree with Sonal is because at this point in time, I don't believe Chaos has any Gaiji members, right? So because Robbie's gone, right? At this point, obviously Will left a while ago, whatever the case is, and ELP quote unquote needs a home because we're still doing faction warfare over in freaking New Japan. So it's like if he gives great matches without the hijinks, could by the end of it all, could we see ELP eventually join Chaos? I don't know, but it could be something that they could do. And this could be the beginning of it, right? Being the first match, he has a good match versus Yoshihashi here. I would want to take ELP versus Yoshihashi, but Yoshihashi's had some strong G1s in the last couple of years. So I'll go with ELP just because obviously LP's on a new path. Just to see if he starts off strong, and then from there we'll see how he does against the other members of Chaos in his block. And I don't know, that just seems to be what I think could happen. If it doesn't, then whatever. But that's just my vantage point.
Yeah, I could see ELP winning this one, especially because Yoshihashi beat him last year in the G1. I want to see ELP start off on the right foot, so I'm going to go with El Phantasmo getting the win here. Next, we got Chase Owens returning to New Japan Pro Wrestling, member of the Bullet Club, long-term member of the Bullet Club, going against one of the newest members of the Bullet Club, a member of the War Dogs, Gabe Kidd, one half of the strong open weight tag team champions. Bullet Club Derby is very interesting when it comes to G1 Climax time, but with the tone that Gabe Kidd set during the press conference with attacking Kiyomiya, attacking Yoda and kind of rallying up, kind of getting everybody kind of excited about and angry about his placement in this entire tournament, I don't think we're going to get, the I'll lay down for you type matchup here. So, Jay News, who you got, Gabe Kidd or Chase Owens?
I got Gabe Kidd in this. And like you said, they already started the underlying story here. The War Dogs are going to take everybody to task in this estimation. The old ward of the Bullet Club is going to be put out to pasture. And that's just what it's going to be. And Chase Owens is going to be the first victim. They're going to victimize these guys. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's what's going to go down. As you guys know, I'm a big ass fan of Gabe Kidd. He wants all the smoke. I want all the smoke for Gabe Kidd. So it's like, at the end of the day, I want him to prove out and do his thing. And eventually he'll be bested by those with more superior skill and experience, former champions, I would say. But Chase Owens won't be one of those people. So Gabe Kidd for his win, and probably one of two wins in this entire tournament, because he ain't winning his block. But he'll beat the crap out of people.
I could see him getting disqualified. That's the only way I could see Chase Owens winning this first matchup here. But I'm going to go with Gabe Kidd as well. Sonal, what did you think about his antics at the press conference? And overall, who do you got winning, Gabe Kidd versus Chase Owens?
It was a very good promo. I mean, like I said, I've not watched all of it. I watched the bit that Gabe posted on Instagram, I think. I was very strong. I agree with J News. Chase Owens, he's a veteran, but I feel like with Gabe Kidd and how fired up he is, and he's also strong champion as part of War Dogs, I can't imagine him not getting the win. Like J News said, he's probably not going to get many wins. Like, he's not going to win the block. Similarly, I feel bad for Chase Owens because he's 10 out of 10 going to be that he might end up with 0 points in this block, which is like
he'll win one, I think.
But against who? I feel like they're all very strong in that block. Like, they're all the future. They're not going to like push it down, especially with what New Japan's been doing recently.
But the last 2 years, he's beaten Tanahashi and he's beaten Ishii.
Who's the high man? Who's the high man in Chase Owens' block?
Sonata.
He's not going to beat Sonal. Chase Owens is not going to have an IWGP Heavyweight Championship match.
Can't see.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that happening.
Maybe Shota or Narita. Maybe Narita.
Yeah, he beats one of the three musketeers.
One of the three
I feel like
musketeers.
Narita is like, we discussed this on Ace Techers, is like at the bottom of the three musketeers. So he might be the easy fall guy. But I think it's easy to say Gabe's going to win. I think Gabe's going to pick up some, albeit probably not like loads, but he's going to have some impactful wins.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Next, we got in B block action. It's gonna be Tonga Loa making his return to New Japan Pro Wrestling, going one-on-one with the former strong openweight champion Kenta. Kenta, is he going to take this tournament seriously? We know Tonga Loa is coming back from injury. So now, who do you got, Tonga Loa versus Kenta here?
I feel like it's a really obvious, but like, I was over the moon when they did the announcements and Tangaloa was back. Like the crowd in Japan were buzzing. Like I was happy. You also know how much of a critic I've been of Kenta recently. So I guess it's what SP3 said. It depends on how Kenta is going to look at this tournament. Is he going to be the Kenta that everyone loves, or is he going to be the Bullet Club Kenta who will just be cheating and doing low blows? I hope it's not the cheating one, because I think Kenta could do some really amazing matches. But I hope that Tangaloa wins.
I am also going to go with Tangaloa for the win here. J News, who you got?
You know, after his loss to Eddie Kingston at the Independence Day show, Kenta swore up and down that he was coming back and he was going to be his former self and kick ass and prove what it was to be Kenta. Not sure if that'll happen or not with Tonga Loa necessarily. I feel like they'll start him off with continuous losses before it really jars him, and then he starts to take things seriously. That's the way I think that the storyline goes in that particular perspective. But I think eventually, sometime down the road in the tournament, we'll see a better version of Kenta. Just not for this match. So I'm going to go with Tonga Loa as well.
So you think that's the long-term story?
It's the long-term story, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm having a look at the blocks, and I think Okada's in that block, isn't he, in Block B? So
yes.
Maybe they'll get a massive star to be that turning point for Kenta, and it'll be something like Okada, and he'll pick up a win there in like a good way, and then it'll be like redemption story.
I would think either Okada or Ospreay could be that one win for him. This one right here might be the most anticipated matchup of night one, as it's going to be 2/3 of the Reiwa Three Musketeers, Ren Narita going one-on-one with Shota Umino. These two men have no love lost between one another and have made it abundantly clear over the last couple of months how much they dislike each other, whether they're teammates, whether they're on the other side of each other. They're nearly getting into fistfights with one another. And despite coming back to New Japan Pro Wrestling from excursion around the same time, they have never been on the same page, despite having the same goal of being a changing of the guard and a new era in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Shota Umino is 5-0-2 against Ren Narita. Ren Narita has never defeated Shota Umino. Who gets the win? Night one of the G1 Climax 33 tournament. J News.
You know, just because you said the record, right? 5-0-2. At this point, it just makes sense to give Red Narita the win here, right? But I'm going to go with my heart, because my heart always says to go with the top shotter. Blah! My main man, Shota Umino, for the win, just because it's Shooter, and Shooter's the fucking star out of this goddamn thing. So that's the way it works for me. But it should work in the sense of, during this tournament, if they label these three guys the Reiwa Three Musketeers for a reason, right? So during this tournament, we're gonna see them be on full display. If Ren Narita doesn't come out looking strong in this tournament, they botched the whole thing. And in order for him to look strong, he's got to beat somebody he's never beat. He's never beat Shooter. Might as well have him beat Shooter. But for me, Shooter wins, and that's where I'm going with it.
He was like, I'll take it. I'll take it. Sonal, who you got? Shooter, Narita.
I've got Narita. But exactly what Janu said is that record, like, if you're going to break a record, if you're going to be like, yeah, Shota's the best, but I can do it, it's going to be the G1. We've been saying this. Narita, for all intent and purposes, he is massively underlooked within the three Musketeers now. And when you're talking about the record, I was thinking about the Jay White and David Finlay record where Jay just used to be like 11, like 1, and like I feel like it's gonna be something like that. But with how they're pushing the Three Musketeers, they can't have Narita just keep losing and losing. Mm-hmm. And what better way to make an impact saying I am actually a Musketeer is getting a win against Shota, so his former Young Lion dojo bestie, and fellow Musketeer, like by beating him. I think Narita needs it. He needs the win more than Shota needs it.
Right now, yeah. Because Shota's been spotlighted everywhere around the globe for the last couple of months. So it's not like Narita's name's been out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think the thing is, it links even with the excursion. Like, for me, and maybe it's because I'm biased because I've seen Shota. Shota, his excursion here in the UK was extremely fruitful. Like, Narita, I think in a way was damaged by staying within the dojo constraints and going to LA. Whereas Shota, and I guess with Tsuji as well, they came to the UK, they were allowed to do different promotions where they didn't have to even link anything to being a young lion. They had new gear, new music, like with Tsuji, the Legion. And I feel like that's where Shota excelled and why he's been doing well. Whereas I think Narita needs a breakout to say, I'm not a former young lion, I'm not Shibata's prodigy or anything. Like, I think Narita's excursion damaged him more than helped him.
Yeah, because it's a tall task to meet. You know what I'm saying? Staying in the dojo and being the shadow and being the underling of a Three Musketeer himself, of Shibata, is like, dude, those shoes are hard to fill. Like, how many years have people, like, by comparison, how many years have people been talking about Dustin and Cody Rhodes trying to fill their daddy's shoes? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, obviously, Shibata's not Narita's daddy, but it works in the same. It works in the same vein. So it's like it's a tough thing to ask of a kid, especially when you're putting him in the black tights and the black boots, and it's the same style. And it's like, why not let him develop his own character? That's just something you're setting him up. For me, if he doesn't do well, you're setting him up for failure. So
I mean, it's like, even something as simple as he's now in a faction called Strong Style.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, everything is just, even though it's probably not direct because you've got Suzuki and Despy, who, I mean, the faction itself is not particularly strong, but that name Strong Style, that's what you link with Shibata. And the black trunks, it's like, I'm waiting for Narita's personality to come out, like the shreds that we saw when he was a young lion and he was getting fired up. We've not seen it, whereas Shota and Tsuji are letting their post-young lion attitudes come out more.
Yeah, we're seeing kind of how their excursions was kind of play out on the screen with New Japan, where Tsuji and Shooter were kind of shown a different style and able to, have their own storylines when they were in like Rev Pro. Narita had his whole story, but he was mostly in front of no crowd for New Japan Strong. That was his excursion, pretty much the majority of it. So it's unfortunate, but we're kind of seeing that it's going to take him some time to catch up to Aminu and Tsuji now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if this matchup was the main event. For this one though, I'm going to go with Shota Aminu. I'm going to break the tie here because you guys are split on this one. I want to go with Ren Narita, but I feel like the better...
SP3, go with your heart.
That's what I'm going with. My heart is saying Shooter because I feel like a better story is that Ren Narita has never beaten Shota Aminu, and that's their story for their rivalry that is going to be a big one for the next 5-10 years in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But let's move on to the aforementioned Kazuchika Okada. He's going to go one-on-one with the great Okan as part of the B block on day one. So now who you got? Okada versus Okan.
It's a hard one because Okan is amazing. And he is a very strong wrestler. But it's similar to Cobb. Like, I'm going to say about Cobb is that he's not really reached the heights. You know how we're saying, like, Suji and Shota, they came back, it was full throttle. It seemingly felt like that for Okan, but he's not reached that. I think he had a tag title run. Was it him and
I
Cobb?
believe so. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
But then that was, I think they lost on the first defense. So if this match was later on in the tournament, I'd have said Okan. But because it's the first one and it's where it is in the card, I'm going to say Okada.
I'm going to go with Okada as well, and I agree. It's mostly down to where it is on the card. They're not going to give us a big upset like that at this point in the card. J News?
Yeah, man. I'm with y'all. Okada for the win here. You know, you guys know how the journey I've been on with the Great Okan. You know, I used to hate the Great Okan. When he first came back, I was just not a fan. I was like, what is this? This isn't working for me. And then compile that, add that to his social media buzz, add that to the backstage stuff. Give me more Okan. Just give
the hero of people.
Everyone said that he's replaced Tanahashi as the ace of people's hearts. Everyone just loves Okan.
We love you, Great Okan. We love you here at True Hill Heat.
Oh, and I just want to like a little tidbit. Like, Okan is actually one of the nicest people ever. Like, when I met him in October, and I was just chatting to him, and I was trying to practice my Japanese, and I was like, I'm really sorry, I can't remember. He was so nice. He was like, it's fine. When I was in the UK, I forgot how to speak Japanese as well. But next time we meet, you have to be fluent. And then he tried to flog off some merch on me. But he was loaded after that. Those shows. He had so much money just from flogging extra merch by himself.
There you go. He's a smart man. He's a businessman. Let's go to the next. We're all going for, but we're all going for Okada in this one.
Okada, yeah.
All right, next up, we got Yota Tsuji going one-on-one with Kaito Kiyomiya. I think that these are probably the two guys that a lot of people have their eyes on in the A block. You got Kiyomiya coming in from Pro Wrestling Noah, the only Noah representative in the G1, the first since 2016. And then you got Yota Tsuji coming off the heels of a heartbreaking loss to Sonata in his re-debut in New Japan Pro Wrestling for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. How are these two going to do in the tournament? It really might be dictated by this first matchup here. So Kiyomiya, Tsuji, Sonal, who you got?
It's so hard because I love Kiyomiya. Like, he was, even before I used to watch Noah, I knew about him. I was like, oh, this guy is amazing. But then you all know I have the strongest soft spot for Tsuji. You know, he was one of the young lions. He was here in the UK, absolutely killed it. But I'm going for Kiyomiya just because it's going to link to my predictions. I'm going for that because I feel like it's his first match in New Japan in the G1. If they have him as a loss, it's sort of, but I guess it could lead on from the continuing storyline that he's not doing so well. Oh.
You know Gato loves his comeback stories. He loves his comeback stories.
You know what? No, I'm going to stay with Kiyomiya. I'm going to stay with it. I love Tsuji. I think it's going to be an amazing match of very contrasting styles. But I'm going to stick to it because if I overthink it too much, I'm gonna keep getting confused.
J News.
So I have a question for everybody in the room. How is it that decisions come about in the G1? You either have to win, lose, or
draw.
Oh, suck it, duck it, quack, quack, sons of bitches. They're going to protect you kids because they have to.
A draw right? So early though, in the middle of I feel like they leave that to the end.
Listen,
that's the tone though.
That's the tone though. It sets the tone because first of all, it protects both of them, right? Because you don't want Tsuji to look bad. Obviously, Kiyomiya coming over from Noah and his feud is to get down the line with Okada somewhere, right? So you don't have him lose off the bat because he's going to have to pick up losses and then wins. He's gonna have to come back story anyways. But because they're both young, because they're both stars in their requisite companies, it's like, all right. To me, great match, but it ends up in a draw. and that's the way I got it. That's the way I see it.
No, it's smart. It's smart
Yeah,
use of it early on because it's 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
I forgot that it was 20 minutes. So
Yeah.
yeah, it makes sense for a draw. You know what? Okay, fair enough. You know what? I'm going back. I'm changing that. I think a draw because I feel I agree with Jane News. I completely forgot this was a thing. Like I was like, oh, it's just a win or a loss.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with a draw because this feels like the best use of it. Even on night 2, I think if you're gonna establish it that first weekend, that's the best one to do it for.
Yeah.
Next, we got a rematch from New Beginning earlier this year, as it's going to be Tai Chi going one-on-one with Will Ospreay. I think it will go down when we get to the end of the year, their matchup at New Beginning, as one of the more forgotten gems of 2023 that some people might not remember, from Ospreay having 2 classics with Kenny Omega, all the great matches across the wrestling world, but they had a banger of a matchup at New Beginning. Who wins here? I will start us off, and I will say Tai Chi beats Will Ospreay night 1 of the G1 Climax 33 tournament. J News?
At the end of the day, the Holy Emperor is quite the character, isn't he? Right? But I'm going to stay on the Will Ospreay train because I've been on that train for about 8 years now. So it's one of those things where I feel like Will comes out hot. I'm not saying he'll stay hot, but he will come out hot. And he beats Tai Chi in a piss battle where they will kick the living crap out of one another. And that's
the living piss out of one another.
How many Kawada kicks is there going to be in this match?
I would say there's going to be 3 different instances you see it. Once on the outside, once on the inside, and then somewhere random. Whatever cases where it just happens.
And an exchange, not just 3 sets.
Exactly. Right.
3 exchanges. Sonal, Tai Chi, Ospreay.
This is hard because they're 2 of my faves, like Ospreay, Homeboy. Tai Chi I didn't like at the start when I first got into New Japan. I remember it was a time where it was anyone but Tai Chi. But he grew on me. He became my Holy Emperor. So, as I will with many of these predictions, I'm going to go with my heart and I'm going to say Tai Chi for the win. Because he needs that match. Because since Dangerous Tekkers parted ways and they had a divorce, Tai Chi needs something. And I feel like Ospreay can be a person to bring back that Tai Chi that we need.
I can see that.
Might be right. So we're all we got 2 Tai Chi, 1 for Ospreay, and then finally for day 1 we got the main event of the show. I don't know why. Sonata versus Hikuleo. Sonata making his way to the G1 as the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion for the first time, while Hikuleo makes his first ever appearance in the G1 Climax 33 tournament. Who do you got in this one, J News? I'll start with you.
Can I just say, SP3, that was really savage. That was. I don't know why it's in the main event.
Why is this the main event? All the great matches.
We had 2 very good wrestlers who deserve your respect, SP3.
Kiyomiya and Tsuji. We got Okada and Great Okan. We got Ospreay and Tai Chi. We got Amino and Narita. And Sonata and Hikuleo is the main event.
I saw a comment earlier saying that there was a Noah show going on, and that's something about how like the main event versus the main event. So maybe that's
that makes sense. Yeah, we got Vala B who said the only reason this match is not the main event, talking about Amino and Narita, is because it might go against Kento Miyahara versus Kazuchika Nakajima in the Noah Kurgan Hall show tomorrow.
Makes all the sense in the world from a booking standpoint, but this match is the main event of night 1 because of one reason and one reason only, and that is because just 5 guys, the one on top, the man at the top of the mountain, Sonata, is the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. This is why this match is in the main event. He will put Hikuleo in the Paradise Lock. He will drop kick his ass to get him out of it, eventually drop him with some sort of a maneuver. I don't think he'll win with the rounding press. I feel like he might go back to the skull end for this one, for the win. But Sonata wins this one for me. Hikuleo, I don't get it, but it is what it is.
He better finish Hikuleo with deadfall, or he ain't beat. We know Sonata ain't winning no damn match with Skull End. I mean, I got Sonata. Who you got, Sonal?
I mean, I love Hikuleo, but yeah, I feel like Sonata's got to win. And also, I feel like if he gets pinned with anything other by deadfall, that's such a kick in the teeth to Hikuleo. Because
Exactly.
it's like in the last match, I think, at Forbidden Door with Jungle Boy. It's like, you're not good enough for my proper finisher. Whereas I feel like with everything they've done with Hikuleo in the past, yes, I'm pointing out with the Jay White match, to have him lose, like, he's not going to win, but to have him lose in such a way that seems almost like disregard, it's just going to put back everything that they've worked for with Hikuleo.
That's true. That is a good point. Very good point. Now we move on to day 2 of the G1 Climax 33 tournament, and I feel like this matchup might steal the first weekend, Sonal, as it's going to be David Finlay, the never openweight champion, going up against the former 5-time never openweight champion.
You need to do the thing, SP3.
Well, what thing are you talking about? Bullet Club need the rebel. The world need the rebel.
There we go.
That hurts every time. Ishii versus Finlay is going to open up day 2. This is a rematch from the New Japan Cup, when these two men opened up that tournament earlier this year in an awesome matchup with Finlay defeating Ishii, how he introduced himself as a member of the Bullet Club. Sonal, who you got? Ishii, Finlay here.
I mean, I'm gonna cry because obviously I love Ishii to pieces, but with everything that Finlay is doing, it's got to be Finlay for the win. Like, it just seems sadly obvious with the place in the card. Obviously, Finlay's holding the title. It's the Bullet Club leader. Can't have anything else.
Tomohiro Ishii defeats David Finlay.
I'll take it. They don't decide to throw a curveball. I'll do it.
Throw a curveball on the opener today, too, and have Tomohiro Ishii beat Finlay, set up the never openweight championship match.
I've got an idea. Bouncing off the chaos thing that we were talking about the day before. What if the Bullet Club tries to intervene with Ishii's match against Finlay, and then ELP comes out to help Ishii?
Could do that, and that could be his intro, or that could be another element of the longer story of him joining Chaos by the end of the tournament. J News, who you got? David Finlay, Tomohiro Ishii.
You know I don't like David Finlay. He's gonna lose every match in my bracket. I don't give a crap.
God.
Tomohiro Ishii, the Stone Pitbull, will hit the vertical brain buster for the win here. I got Ishii winning, even though there's really no storyline to convince anyone otherwise that Ishii should win. But hey, David Finlay
he should win because he needs one more opportunity at the never openweight championship.
That is true there. That is absolutely true. So Tomohiro Ishii for the win so he can get a shot at the never openweight championship. And then that way, if he does beat David Finlay eventually, they can get rid of him as the leader of the freaking War Dogs because he's just not believable. So, yeah.
Hey,
You
David
really
Finlay will.
For him, don't you?
I know. Look at this. This is like vile.
It's necessary for me to say that if David Finlay continues to be the leader of this War Dog pack, I'm going to riot because I feel like they.
What about Evil? Would you rather have Evil?
No, I don't want any of those House of Torture pricks near the War Dogs. What I want is Kenta's redemption story to lead him to be the leader of the War Dogs.
The world needs a rebel.
Anyways.
Bullet Club needs.
You're gonna hurt your voice doing that, SP3.
I still got another preview to do. It's like, sheesh. But yes, let's move on. We can go through the next couple of matches pretty quickly here. Not a lot of story to these ones, except two members of Chaos will go one-on-one, like Sonal's been wanting here, as you got Goto going one-on-one with Tori Yano. Yano is always about the laughs and giving his co-workers the day off in the G1 when it comes to him facing him. What do you got, Sonal?
I mean, it's going to be match of the tournament, and people think I'm joking. But, you know, I watched...
You have to be!
I'm not, because a few years ago, Goto and Yano had a great match. I think it was about 4 minutes. 3-4 minutes. But no, in all honesty, like, because Goto knows Yano so well, Goto is one of the few people who knows his way around it. So I think it's going to be like a decent match. It's going to be nice and short to allow the other matches to be longer. And it will set the pace on what Yano we're going to see. Whether there's going to be scissors, sellotape, or if he's brought something new out.
Could be. Maybe
Hiroki Goto's going to win. Hiroki Goto's going to win.
Maybe he's went from Blu-ray, from DVD to Blu-ray.
Oh.
He could be something new for that. J News, who you got? Goto and Yano here.
I am going with Hiroki Goto. I just don't believe that the expertise of Yano's comedic stylings will, surprise Goto, being that Goto knows him so well. I mean, they sat side by side at a campfire to express to each other how great one another is, and at this point, everybody still reveres Goto-san. So, Goto for the win here.
I also hope that this is going to be start, because I know no one's ever going to say that Goto's going to win this, but I love Goto so much, and I just hope that he does actually get a good run in this one, because he's been doing amazing as tag champion, and SP3 is giving that look. I mean, he's not going to win the block or anything. He's not going to win the block or anything, but I just need Goto to pick up some good wins.
He's going to get some wins. He's always good for like 3 or 4 wins.
There you go. As long as he gets that, I don't want to have like a Taguchi in the best of Super Juniors. That was hard.
Can we sit here and understand that 2016 was 7 years ago now? 7 years ago was 2016. And that was Goto's last ditch effort. Probably his greatest G1 since his win. And we haven't seen anything as, and I love Goto, man. I love Goto. But it's like, man.
Giving Goto some love here. Next, we got 2 guys that will be trying to make a name for themselves in this year's tournament. As for the second time, Aaron Hanare will be in the G1 Climax tournament. Meanwhile, Mikey Nichols will make his first appearance in the G1 Climax tournament. 2 guys making a statement. Who do you got here, J News?
I am going to go with the almighty gentrified one, Aaron Hanare, for the win as he beats Mikey Nichols. I just, as a singles wrestler, I have no love for Mikey Nichols. I just don't. So, and Hanare is coming off some 5-star bangers this year and some dope matches. So
Mr. 5 1/4. Mr. 5 1/4.
So we're going to continue that train. And Aaron Hanare goes in hot here at the G1 by beating Mikey Nichols.
Gentrified Hanare has become Mr. 5 1/4. I am going with Hanare for the victory over Nichols. What do you got, Sonal?
Yeah, I've got the same. I mean, if this was Shane Hayes, it might be a different story because, got to give my love to Shane Hayes. But, I mean, I love Mikey Nichols as a singles guy and as a tag. But, like I've said with Okan, Hanare has slowly been building himself up. And I think this G1 is going to be the perfect time for him to pick up some nice wins.
I think so as well. Here we go. You asked for him. You got him, Sonal. Yeah. You got Shane Hayes of TMDK.
Sorry, can we just speak about Coughlin's eyes in the post?
He looks like he's going to murder somebody. He looks like a murderer. If you saw this man looking at you like this on public transportation, you would piss yourself. You got Shane Hayes of TMDK versus Alex Coughlin of the Bullet Club War Dogs, a pair of two guys in their first G1 Climax tournament. Who do you got here, Sonal?
I've got Shane Hayes. That's not just because of my love of Shane Hayes. War Dogs are holding the strong tag titles, and I feel like TMDK, they would be the perfect titles for Mikey Nichols and Shane Hayes to hold. Because I mean, I'm not saying, oh yeah, it's because Shane Hayes, because he's an amazing wrestler in himself. Like, let's not discount this. But story-wise, I think it makes the most sense for someone like Shane to get a win over a tag champ, to set up a match for that, because he's got a tag team cemented, one of the best. I think it just works.
Jay News.
I'm with Sonal here, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention the fact that Alex Coughlin looks like a perfect fit to be Dexter Lumis's tag team partner with that look in his eye. So, anyways, but yes, I would think
I just want someone. Here's a great idea. You want to start a YouTube channel. If you can edit a video that is Cult of Personality, and all it is Alex Coughlin's face like this. Look in my eyes. What do you see? And it just gets closer and closer to you. Perfect video. Perfect.
Anyways, yeah, Shane Hayes, Alex Coughlin, good contrasting styles. Want to see what Shane Hayes is going to bring to the table, New Japan style. And we'll probably see some reckless ass feat of strength from Alex Coughlin in this match. So just looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to it as well. I'm going to go with Alex Coughlin getting the win here. I think the Bullet Club War Dogs are going to look good on the first weekend of the G1 Climax 33 tournament.
And then they're just going to go downhill from there.
Probably so. Next, we got my most anticipated match of this first weekend. Eddie Kingston representing AEW, making his first appearance in the G1 Climax tournament, going one-on-one for the first time against Shingo Takagi. This is going to be hard-hitting, big, meaty men slapping meat. Who do you got, Sonal?
Shingo, because I want Shingo to challenge for the title. And I also feel like, I think that he's going to have a great tournament. He's holding the title at the moment, but I feel like if you're going to lose to anyone, and if anyone's going to have a stake of claim for that strong title, it's got to be Shingo. But yeah, it's going to be an amazing match. Like, I think it's going to be great.
Who you got, Jay News?
I'm look, man, the heart just doesn't allow me. At this point, guys, Shingo Takagi's my guy. But Eddie Kingston's from up the block. Eddie Kingston's from up the block from me, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't not do and not go with Eddie right now with the heart and the soul and the win. I think Eddie wins here. Yeah, I'm gonna just say that. I think he wins here. Now, I don't know how he's gonna win, but he wins here.
Yeah, I don't see Shingo making a lot of visits to the U.S.
Right.
So that's why I don't see him needing the win here. So I will go with Eddie looking good once again in Japan and starting the G1 out on the right note, which might be one of his only wins in this Murders Row block.
SPC being so positive during this preview, Why Sonata and Hikuleo in the main event? Oh, I don't think that Eddie Kingston's going to have a great run.
I am an Eddie Kingston fan, so I know him better than most. And what I know about Eddie Kingston is he don't win a lot, but when he wins, it matters. So beating Shingo Takagi is a win that matters in this tournament. So that's why I'm going for Eddie there. In the matchup that I know a lot of people is going to be looking forward to because they always deliver, it is Zack Sabre Jr. going one-on-one with Hiroshi Tanahashi. How is Tanahashi's body going to hold up in this tournament? Does Zack Sabre Jr. set up some matches for the TV title himself? Jay News, who you got? ZSJ versus Tanahashi.
I got Zach here on the win here, man. I don't see Tana winning here and getting a shot at the TV title. That's even with everything that I always say about Tana. Like at the same time, I don't want to put down the TV championship, but like that's under Tana's pay grade right now. If you understand what I'm saying. So it's like, Zach can pick up the win here, and it still be a decent match, I think. It won't be a certified banger classic of theirs at this point, due to where Tana is in his career. But I know ZSJ is going to try his best to make Tana look great. So at the end of the day, that's all that really matters.
Sonal?
I've got Zack Sabre Jr. I love when it comes to like matches against each other. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Naito, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tanahashi, Tanahashi versus Naito. Those three like interchangeably always give amazing matches with wrestling and storytelling. Tanahashi's not in the best shape, but again, I feel like maybe they'll center it more like they did at Forbidden Door, where it'll be more storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Zack will probably claim that he's going to try and end Tanahashi's career and retire him and things like that. And yeah, I get what Janu said. Like, the TV title isn't on Tanahashi's radar. It'd be like giving him like, although he holds the Never titles, I feel it'd be like giving him like a Never singles title. It's just not really something on his like radar. And also, I could see Zack and TMDK at some point maybe challenging for the trios titles. So
I can see that.
Yeah.
We got here. I forgot to make my prediction. I'm going to agree with you guys. I'm going with Zack Sabre Jr. here. I don't think that Tanahashi needs the TV title, and I don't think Tanahashi is going to get a lot of wins in the tournament.
Might get one over Yano.
Yeah, definitely. He can get that one over Yano. That's his day off.
What was their team name again? Him and Yano?
Oh God.
Bebop. Bebop tag team.
That was a classic.
We got Tama Tonga going one-on-one with Evil in the C block to end off day 2. Who you got here? Tama Tonga and Evil have their history. Evil's downturn as far as success in the singles and like tag team trios divisions all started when Tama Tonga beat him for the Never Openweight Championship. So now who you got on day 2?
Do you even need to ask? Everyone knows my thoughts on Evil. Okay, Tama's got to win this. Like on one side, I'm being a broken record. Like, he's back in New Japan after all of those like rumors and stuff, blah blah blah. But we just don't need Evil picking up wins. Simple as that.
Fair enough, and I agree with you. I'm going with Tama Tonga. J News.
Yeah, my yeah. Tama Tonga, bro. Tama Tonga. I've beaten the Evil horse to death. I don't need to beat it anymore. Tama Tonga.
Yeah, I feel like if we're gonna keep saying it's like a broken record with Evil, like you just don't want Evil to win. That's just it.
This and that's fair. That's fair at this point.
The biggest mistake of Gato's booking career. That's it.
Yeah.
And next we have the main event. It is Tetsuya Naito going one-on-one with Jeff Cabas. These two men have met at Wrestle Kingdom. They've met in the G1 in the past, and Naito has defeated Jeff Cobb pretty much at every turn. And I think it ends here. I'm going with Jeff Cobb for the victory on day 2 to start off his G1 on the right foot and to start the journey of the comeback for Tetsuya Naito to get back into the tournament. Who you got, J News?
Absolutely. One time for the Suplex brethren. Jeff Cabas for the win here. He will get his win here. And I say, dare I say, this will be Naito's lone loss in his block.
Ooh. Might be onto something there. So now,
at first I was gonna say Naito, but I agree. I feel like if anyone needs a big win, it is Jeff Cobb, and like because it being the main event. But I also feel with like Janu said, Naito works best when he needs a redemption arc. So have him. I don't know who his second match is. Have him lose 2 maybe, and then or even like Janu says, just lose this one, and then just have him go straight wins. And I think that's going to be more impactful. It's going to benefit Cobb, but also going to make Naito's story better.
that's true. That is true. Puts him behind the 8 ball early. Now going through the blocks after finishing this first weekend, we got the A block, which I believe is kind of the most interesting block, mainly because you have the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Sonata. You got the Riwa 3 Musketeers of Shoto Aminu, Ren Narita, Yota Tsuji. You got another young guy in Hikuleo. You got Chase Owens making his return. He's still here. You got another young guy or the member of the Bullet Club War Dogs in Gabe Kidd, and you have the only representative of Pro Wrestling Noah in the tournament, Kaito Kiyomiya. There's some youth in this tournament. There is a lot, at stake. A lot of these matches are very interesting with the three Musketeers going at it in singles matches. Everybody facing the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Everybody facing the ace of Pro Wrestling Noah. Kind of give us your prediction of who you think will be the top two from the A block and your number one must-watch match from the A block. J News.
Oh man, because I did my predictions earlier today, so I gotta make sure I'm hitting this. I did pick Sonata to come out of the block, and I'm looking forward to Sonata versus Kiyomiya, like without question. I'm definitely looking forward to tonight one's Kiyomiya versus Tsuji match. Yeah, man, Suj versus Umino, bro. Suj versus Umino. If that don't bring the fire, they failed the whole thing. They failed the whole thing. If that match don't bring the fire, they fail themselves. But yeah, those matches, and I got Sonata winning the block.
Top two for me.
Sonata and Kiyomiya.
Sonata and Kiyomiya for you. Sonal, who you got coming out of A block, and what's your must-watch match?
I think I said this on Ace Tech, because I think I said Sonata and Kiyomiya, but I said that Kiyomiya is going to get a win over Sonata. That's probably not going to make a difference in the long, but I think, yeah, those two are going to be the top two. Match to watch: Shota versus Tsuji, because I watched them wrestle at Rev Pro right before Tsuji came back, right before Shota came back, and it was an amazing match, and I kind of want to see it again. I also want to see Kiyomiya and Sonata. That'll be a good match, but I think from a personal standpoint, Tsuji versus Shota.
I am going with, coming out of the A block, Kiyomiya and Shota Umino. I am going with Shota Umino coming out of the A block, and the must-watch match is my top two in the A block. Shota Umino versus Kaito Kiyomiya. I think that might be like a little preview to maybe a main event of like a Tokyo Dome event in 5 years, because they're going to be the top guys of Noah and New Japan, or maybe Kiyomiya's in New Japan by then. But so, A block has a lot of interesting elements to it for sure.
Quick question for you. How often, I don't know if you would know the answer to this, because I don't even know the answer to this, and I've been watching Japanese wrestling for a while. It doesn't really happen where guys go from Noah to New Japan or vice versa and stuff like that on a grand scale, right? Like, if Kiyomiya leaves Noah and goes to New Japan, like, that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, outside of Muto, like in his array of travels, you know what I'm saying? Outside of him, it's like I don't necessarily ever really remember anyone ever changing guard like that.
I mean, I guess the only thing with Noah maybe is like when you had the Suzuki-gun guys. So there's actually, Kanemaru, and I mean, they're not the massive stars, but I mean, Kanemaru was a really big thing though in Noah. Yeah. Like, he was junior legend and stuff. But I guess that is probably the closest thing to it. But then again, that blended in with the storyline because they got off to Noah and then they came back. So
Next, we got the B block, which I think has two guys that are favorite to win the entire tournament to a lot of different people. I'll let you decide who that is. But the B block has Kazuchika Okada, Yoshihashi, Tangaloa, El Phantasmo, Taichi, Will Ospreay, Great Okan, and Kenta. Who would be your top two from the B block in your must-watch match, Sonal?
Going with my heart here, and no one's going to agree. It's going to be Okada and Taichi, because always going to go for the Holy Emperor. And match, I think I'm most looking forward to Taichi versus Ospreay. We discussed it earlier. It's one of the first ones. I think their match in the past have been great. Taichi is now on this whole up, like he's part of Just Five Guys now. He's going to want to prove something, bring another title to just 5 guys. And also, he has made point regularly that he wants a shot at Sonada's title. And considering they're not in the same block, he's going to be really fighting for it. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And obviously, Ospreay coming off his big win, and it's going to be interesting to see what Ospreay we see. Do we see the New Japan Ospreay, or is there a bit of the AEW Ospreay with Don Callis? I hope we don't see any of that. Like, I'd be a bit pissed off if they did.
It's like I want to see my New Japan. Will.
Yeah, I said that if it been done. I was like, oh, but it's different. It's all elite. I was like, yeah, well, you can't tell me suddenly like he goes to a different company and they forget all the bookings and all the storylines that like because you forgot the Empire of Babyfaces. Have you suddenly forgot that?
That's exactly what they're trying to tell you. Well, you got. I'm gonna go with Will Ospreay and Okada to come out of the B block, and my must-watch match. I'm gonna must-watch Ospreay and Okada when they go at it. I believe that it's on the 27th. That is like the must-watch match of the entire tournament because they had a match of the year candidate last year in the G1 finals. But I'll be different here and pick something a little bit more out there. I'm gonna go with Great Okan versus Taichi. I just feel like that's gonna be for the laughs. J News, who you got?
I've got Okada and Ospreay as top 2 in this block, and then a match to look forward to. I'll be different here as well. ELP versus Ospreay. That's the barn burner. That's the ticket right there.
That's the final night of block action. Those two are going to face off. Now we go to the C block as you got Tama Tonga, Tomohiro Ishii, Shingo Takagi, Mikey Nichols, Aaron Hanare, Eddie Kingston, David Finlay, and Evil. This is the Murders Row block, the Banger block, the Hoss Fight block. Who you got here, your top 2, and your must-watch match, J News?
Top 2, Shingo Takagi. And, yeah. Going with the heart here. Shingo and Eddie Kingston here. Shingo and Eddie Kingston also for a match to look forward to as well. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for C-Block. That's all I got.
Hey, you picked Eddie, so you're close to my heart, sir. Who you got, Sonal?
I can't remember what I picked actually on the predictions. If I'm gonna say Finlay and Tama Tonga, which might have been what I said.
I think I went with something else, but now I'm changing my pick. I even already put up my form, so I think I'm changing my pick on there as well. I'm gonna go with Eddie Kingston and David Finlay. I'm gonna go with I think David Finlay. They at least get him to the Elite 8. And the must-watch match from that block, I'll go with Eddie Kingston versus Tomohiro Ishii. I got to see that match live in Chicago. They always deliver, so I know they're going to deliver a banger as well. And Shingo and Ishii have a record of their own in the G1 where they always give us the match of the tournament. And then finally, we have the D block, mighty D block.
Can I just count? I think this is my favorite block in terms of like the wrestlers that I like.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I think it's the work rate block here, as you got Hiroshi Tanahashi, Hiroki Goto, Toriano, yes, workhorse Toriano, Tetsuya Naito, Zack Sabre Jr., Shane Hayes, Jeff Cobb, Alex Coughlin, Sonal. Who do you got as the top 2 from the D block and the must-watch match?
Top 2, Zack Sabre Jr., the Prime Minister of the UK in our hearts, and Tetsuya Naito. Simple because I think they're the best in the block. And then the match I'm looking forward to is Naito versus Zack. They always just give really funny matches whenever they wrestle. Like, they're the 2 opposite sides of the spectrum in style and personality. And I kind of just want to see Naito win just so Zack goes to the back and throws another chair. It's been a while.
Oh, man. Yes, please. J News.
I've got in this block Jeff Cobb and Tetsuya Naito coming out of this block. Obviously, Naito wins this block for me at the end of the day. Jeff Cobb needs a strong run. And so my main man, Jeff Cobb, is number 2 in this block. As for matches to look forward to, give me another ZSJ versus Jeff Cobb match. I'll take those all day. And like Sonal said, ZSJ versus Naito as well. So yeah, those 2 matches right there.
Nice. I'm gonna go. I just have to put this up again because I want to see if I want to make a mystery pick. No, I'll go with my heart again, and I'll say Tetsuya Naito and Zack Sabre Jr. come out of the D block here. So
I feel like D block's a bit. I feel like everyone has basically the same thoughts for D block.
yeah, I think like I said, I think the A block has the more kind of mystery to it, where they can go with like any of like 4 guys there. I think B block.
You should have said any of 5 guys.
Any
Because
of
Sanada's
5
in the
guys.
block.
There you go. Any of 5 guys there. C block is another one that's like a little bit more mystery with like you got Finley, you got Shingo, got Kingston, you got Ishii, you got Tamatonga, who's gone to a Final 4 of the G1 before. So yeah, they have options there. And then D block. I think D block and B block are the 2 predictable ones where you kind of know who is positioned higher than everybody else in this block. But that brings us to now predict the Final 4. So keep in mind, it is not directly like probably how most people would assume this would be, where the top 2 of A block, top 2 of B block, top 2 of C block, top 2 of D block all fight each other. No, they're like intermingling. It's like C2. Yes, it's like C2 versus A1. We got A2 versus D1. And like, yeah, so it's mixed match. So you can have people from the same block in the Final 4. But who do you have as your Final 4 for the G1 Climax 33 tournament? J News.
Final 4. Jeez Louise. So I have Naito's in there for sure.
I'll give you mine if you want me to.
Go ahead.
I got Okada, Naito, Aminu, and
is that the way it breaks down though, Sid? I thought the Elite 8 broke down where it's like A1 versus C2 or whatever the case is. Wouldn't the Final 4 be? Okay.
I said the Elite 8 is A1 versus C2, okay. All that mixed up stuff, and then whoever wins, it's just that's how the tournament is. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Naito, Okada, Aminu, and Finley. That's my Final 4. J News, who you got?
I've got Naito. I've got out of the A block. Put the A block back up for a minute.
I don't have it over here anymore. Right. That's you had Sonata and Kiyomiya out of A block.
Okay, so yeah, so it'll be Naito, it'll be Sonata, and then C block, I got Shingo, and then B block.
You can go with your heart.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna let him finish, but I will have a conversation with J News here.
That's fine. I know what you're saying, but at the end of the day, I know where you're going with this. But
you know where I'm going with this.
I know where you're going, but at the end of the day, I'm still gonna go per block participants.
Oh, go ahead.
B block, I'm going Ospreay. Okay.
So your Final 4 is what? Naito.
I got Naito. I got Sonata, I got Ospreay, and I got Shingo.
Had to move him up here, Sonal, because this man right here said he didn't want.
You moved him up just for this. You were like, right, I'm gonna do it directly.
Didn't want Okada and Kiyomiya in the same block. He's like, oh, don't worry, they'll face in the semifinals, and then we asked him for the semifinals.
Wouldn't it come down to the previous round where they would face off? Wouldn't that?
No, they wouldn't.
Kiyomiya was like second, and then Okada was first, then that would work.
Yeah.
I don't
be
see it
scared on
happening
Jay
in that.
News. You can't be doing all these intricacies because Jay News has a scenario where they do meet.
Yes.
No,
Yes,
he
absolutely.
didn't even
Because the
think
final
about
four
that.
is the final four. What are you talking about? If they crossed over in the Elite Eight or whatever the case is, it still works out.
You said semifinals, sir. You
Oh
said
man,
semifinals.
whatever.
It's
I
all
got
right.
them crossing over. Look, listen, man. At the end of the
All
day,
right.
they still facing off. They still facing off.
Fair enough. You can go back down here now. So now your final four for the G1.
Kiyomiya for A. I'm going with my heart. No, because that ruins it. Kiyomiya Okada. My heart was Taichi, but it doesn't work for that way. I've got Tamatonga for Block C. I know it's an out there pick, but I've got that. And then D Naito.
All right. So that is our final fours. And now in the finals, I got Naito versus Okada. Who do you got, Sonal?
Yeah, Naito versus Okada. That's why I wanted to put Taichi in the semifinal so much, but my final one was Okada versus Naito. So yeah.
J News.
Yeah, man. I got an LIG throwdown, son. I got Naito versus Shingo. That's the way I have it looking. That
would be a dream. I would love that.
That's the way I got it cooking. Naito versus Shingo in the finals. Probably won't go down that way, but that's my pick.
That would be
you can
fantastic.
go with your heart sometimes, J News. Sometimes just go with it.
And I guess we are all on the same page with our winner of the G1 Climax 33 tournament. I guess 3, 2, 1. We could say it. 3, 2, 1. Naito.
Yes.
Oh, you just went with Naito.
Yeah,
I'll give the whole name.
She's like, I didn't get the memo. We're just doing last name.
But yeah. For the big one, I thought we were going for Tetsuya Naito.
But yes, I'm going with Naito. Okada, Naito for the win. J News going with Shingo versus Naito for the win. And Sonal's going with Naito, Okada, Naito for the win.
Can I be honest? This is probably going to be the most realistic one I've ever done, because ever since I got into New Japan, I've had Jay winning every year because I wanted him to win. So this is the first year where I've literally not had Jay winning. So
there you go. There we go. So we answered all the questions that's in the headline here. Or I'm saying that Okada and Kiyomiya ain't facing in the G1. That's what I'm saying. Sonal, you're saying in the semifinals?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
J News is saying in the quarterfinals.
I say quarters.
Well, there you have it. That brings us to a close on our G1 Climax 33 preview. Couple of comments to highlight here. We got Steven Chambers who says Sonata versus Naito final 2. We also got Ninja Mortis who says LVP of the tournament, and why is it Chase? LVP of the tournament.
That's a harsh life. That's really mean.
You know what it is?
I might just say, and I might. No, I'm not gonna get burned at the stake. I'm gonna go with the easy answer, and say Kenta.
I'm gonna say Kenta.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I'm saying to myself, I'm trying to believe. I'm trying to believe right now. I'm trying to believe that Kenta's got something left in the proverbial tank, and he won't gimmick us to death and continue to give us this rubbish for the rest of his career.
Gimmick you to death. Don't worry, he gonna gimmick you to death. You gonna take this.
LVP for me is probably gonna be Evil at the end of the day, because Evil's just by default he's there. So
I was gonna say that, but I feel like I always pick Evil. I want to try something different this time. It's either Evil or Dick Togo.
I was like Evil, Chase, Kenta, someone from the lower tier Bullet Club. We got Ninja Mortis who says J News and me the only niggas on the Kenta Express.
Talking about the Express, go out and watch Mission Impossible fucking Dead Reckoning. That shit was awesome. So anyways,
there you go. Cheap plug.
There's a train ride scene on there. That shit's crazy. Anyways.
Sonal, thank you as always for joining us for one of our previews and reviews. Of course, we got to invite you back when we do review the entire G1 Climax 33
That's like a whole
tournament.
month away. It feels like a long time.
I know it's like it's gonna go by so fast though. You know it. You already know. But let the people know you're gonna do so much content over on your channel. They'll hear you on Ace Techers. Let the people know where they can follow you and see all your work.
As always, you can find me on Sonal's Life on YouTube. Just type it in. I have my G1 preview out, so make sure to watch that before the show tomorrow. And obviously, follow me on Twitter at wrestling_chat, because that is where you will be the first people to know when videos come out. If I'm on this podcast, when Ace Techers comes out, you'll find everything on there.
There you go. And J News, let the people know where they could follow you, good sir.
Quick question, Snow, have you joined the millions and millions of people who had joined Threads? Are you one of those people?
I mean, I have, but I don't use it for anything wrestling. I use it for my job in K-pop. And then I realized, oh, if you delete it, you delete your Instagram. I didn't read the fine print. So now I've got it. But don't bother following me, because that is linked to my K-pop account. I don't use it. I probably won't use it until Twitter suddenly decides to actually leave us and Elon Musk decides to really mess it up.
Wait, hold up. Wait. Did you just say if you join Threads, you have to delete your Instagram?
Yes, that's absolutely true, son. That's absolutely true.
What?
Did you not read it? As soon as I made my account, that came up. I was like, God.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what, like, this whole entire week I've been talking to Dolores. I've been talking to Alan. As everybody's, yo, join the threads. I ain't doing that shit, because once I join Threads, I can't delete it. I can't take it back. And I left Twitter years ago. So it's like
soul for soul.
I can't do it. But anyways, y'all can always find me on the Instagram _JONJY. As I always like to say, I like to interact with the folks. So follow me on there. Also follow the True Heel Heat Wrestling channel as you do here. I will be putting up shorts after each and every night to give you the roundup of what the hell's going on with the G1. And I would also say, quick plug, Sonal is Life. I know Sonal is going to be covering the entire freaking tournament. So if you guys want to stay updated, because it's too much for me to fucking do during the week, stay updated. Sonal is going to be doing the majority of the stuff on her channel, so do that. But I'll be doing the shorts here. Hopefully Romeo doesn't cut me off at the fucking knees. So
Hopefully not. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at True Hill Heat. You can also subscribe to True Hill Heat Sports on YouTube as well as TikTok, and patreon.com/True Hill Heat for $3 a month. More exclusive content. The True Hill Heat Prediction Championship is back for season 5, and we're kickstarting that. You can put your predictions for that by becoming a Patreon backer today, and check out all the great content we got on the channel right now, like the True Hill Heat Flagship podcast, True Hill Heat 233 from last week will be live tomorrow at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Myself, Top Guy JJ returns, and we got 2 very special guests. Stay tuned for our social media where we'll be announcing that. Also, check out AE Ramble from yesterday, Golden Arrivals, as me and Jimmy reviewed this week's AEW Dynamite, and going live in 30 minutes over on twitch.tv/True Hill Heat Gaming. We are going to do a preview for Impact Slammiversary. We're going live at 2:05 p.m. Eastern Time, so join us live for that one. It's going to be a bunch of fun, as I'll be joined by Rob Wilkins and Maggie from Coexisting on Fightful Overbooked to talk about Impact Slammiversary for tomorrow night. But want to thank J News, want to thank Sonal, want to thank all of you in the live chat with all your comments and the support for this video. Remember to drop the thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you are new. For J News, for Sonal, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been our NJPW G1 Climax 33 preview. We are signing off until